Hey there folks, the #1 Alien Chicks fan from the Infinite Jukebox here with another quick EP review, and today I want to talk about the new Alien Chicks EP, Indulging the Mobs. Indulging the Mobs, the first proper EP from experimental British noise rock trio Alien Chicks, who have found themselves kind of having a rising reputation within the so-called windmill scene in the UK, and for good reason, seeing as they are probably one of the more sonically unique and intriguing bands to come out of that scene recently. And I say that primarily because Indulging the Mobs sees Alien Chicks incorporate a number of ideas together in a way that proves them to really be a band to keep an eye on. In terms of genres and influences, there is a plethora of concepts being incorporated into this EP over a very short runtime, if I will mention. And at the same time, despite that feeling like in concept an absolute mess, it ultimately results in a record that is sonically and aesthetically cohesive and makes for an engaging listening experience overall. I mean, for example, this sort of punk-funk influenced instrumentals driven by Stefan's bass lines as well as Martha's drumming, while Joe's guitars are more traditionally noise rock rooted in terms of tone. It makes for an album that is very, very well rooted in a rhythmic section, while at the same time not being afraid to branch out into a sort of intentionally restrained chaos that ultimately makes for an EP that works extremely well in terms of the dynamic between the three members of the trio here. I mean, ultimately, thanks to the importance of all three of their respective contributions, this EP is equally groovy and devastating sonically, which is something that I really like to see, especially since they never once sacrificed solid song structure for the sake of going into a more noise-based direction, which I think was ultimately the right choice for this band in particular. I think they have too much talent within the realm of writing a well-composed song to waste it on going into a complete harsh noise direction, as much of a harsh noise fan as I am. Some of the more jazz fusion-y kind of influences that go on within the aforementioned rhythm section on cuts like Frames and the album closer Slinky Man are extremely unexpected but interesting, and work very well within the context of the album, surprisingly. Meanwhile, you have the sometimes semi-rapped vocal delivery on cuts like Steve Buscemi that are highly charismatic and, again, work extremely well in this sort of hodgepodge of various influences that Alien Chicks bring to the table on Indulging the Mobs, something that feels like it shouldn't work, but ultimately does. And it's in that way that I feel this EP really does succeed in introducing this new band to the world in recorded form. In terms of songwriting, in terms of conceptualization, in terms of dynamics and sort of relationship between the various instruments on this EP, I kind of think everything is perfect for the most part, and this is a perfect EP in the sense that it really desperately makes me want a full-length studio album from this band, and if that is in the cards in the future, then I am greatly looking forward to it, because I genuinely think this is one of the best EPs of the entire year so far. And as a whole, I actually do think that Indulging the Mobs is a really great example of how far this still sort of fresh-faced school of modern-day art rockers and art punks are capable of going, and what they are capable of doing, despite the fact that many people say this entire wave of UK-based art rock bands kind of peaked a couple of years ago with bands like Black Country New Road, Dry Cleaning, and Black Midi, among various other bands. It's nice to see newly debuted bands that, while they unfortunately may not be getting as much attention, are putting forward records, putting forward ideas that are just as exciting and just as willing to push the boundaries of what people expect from the aforementioned windmill scene. It's a really nice thing to see. I mean, genuinely, this is a really unique EP, and if anything that I described here sounds interesting to you at all in terms of genre experimentations or anything like that, I highly recommend it. This is easily one of the best shorter listening experiences that I've had throughout the entire year so far. Just a really fantastic EP coming from Alien Chicks here, and I'm excited to see what they do in the future. Just what an excellent debut. I'm going to give this record 4 stars out of 5. And with that being said, that is the end of this quick EP review. Thank you for watching the Infinite Jukebox, and I'll see you in the next one.